back. We are now discussing on the chat tab. So basically, when you're looking at the chat tab, from the top line, you can see the pair you're analyzing. You can see the price, which is mainly in big bold colors, red or green, depending on the market direction. And we can actually see the market 24-hour high, 24-hour low, 24-hour turnover. In this particular case, it's around 61.67k. Then there is the top line, which shows the time frame. You can select 5, 15, and 4 hours time frame without extra functions, clicking extra functions. If you want even more detailed time frames, you can then select this part where it's written more. You can then see there is 30 minutes. Your chart will load. You can even select 1 day, and your chart will load. You'll be able to do your TA, your technical analysis on the chart. So basically, there are indicators you can use, and for these indicators, you select indicator. And this on the indicator tab, we can see there are 4 basic indicators on the main indicator. This will be shown on the main chart. So we have the moving average, Bollinger Bands, exponential moving average, and MBTC. I usually use Bollinger Bands and exponential moving average. So if you want to set these parameters, you long press like as it is indicated. And there are also secondary indicators. The secondary indicators are placed just underneath the main chart. So let's go back to the main chart so that we can scroll up. We can see there we've got the secondary indicators. In this particular case, we've got the relative strength index, volume, and moving average converging divergence, MACD. So let's go back. So for us to set, you long press on the indicator, then you can set I've got my EMA 20, EMA 50, EMA 100, and EMA 200. You set to your respective technical analysis. You can do the same for Bollinger Bands 15. Then when you want to select them, you just click once. They will show. Like you can see, we now have Bollinger Bands and the 4 moving exponential moving averages. So I'll remove my Bollinger Band. Then we've got volume, MACD, K, DJ, and RSI and WR. If you want to set these parameters on, you can click indicator settings, and from here you can then set them once and for all. But I prefer using this particular space because you'll be able to see the changes happening on the screen on this left side of the screen that is left out. Then we move on to the next. There are advanced settings which you can do when you're on this particular screen on charts. You can move to advanced. So on advanced, you'll be able to draw. You can draw a trend line angle, vertical line, horizontal ray, parallel channel, and fib retracement, and trend based fib retracement. So let's give it a try to trend analysis. We can draw our trend line. So you see this blue moving. So from here we draw our, let's click here. One thing I've noticed, drawing on the mobile app, it doesn't have the magnetic effect like it has on TradingView or on the Bybit web interface on a PC. There it goes. We've got our trend line. So the other advanced feature, we've got advanced settings. You can also adjust the chart height if you prefer a smaller chart. As you can see from the left side, it's actually shrinking. The chart is becoming smaller, and you can extend it and expand it. You can then choose what type of candlesticks, solid or hollow, crosshair, scale, and style. Mark price, whether you're choosing high, low, or the close. I prefer close. There are other parameters you can also change, like show mark price. I don't need to see the mark price so often, so I leave it blank. I think that's it for the advanced tab. See, after the secondary indicators, you can see we've got the order book, field order book. It shows our order book and market depth. Like you can see now, you can see the field orders, and you can see the contract details, market price, index price, funding rate. Like in this particular case, the funding rate is very, very small in the next 5 hours. You can see also in the next 13 hours, it's around 0.1%. And you'll be done with this particular chart tab. I'll skip that main function and go to alerts. On alerts, you can create several alerts. I think this would need a special video on how to create alerts, but as you can see, I've already created 4 alerts, and they are pre-made alerts as well, and you can archive some alerts you would have made previously. You can see in the link, I'll link you to a video on how to create these charts. Then we go to the assets tab. This is the most critical with most sensitive information on the application. It shows the equity, the amount of bitcoins you're holding on the exchange. This is a sum up of whatever currency you'll be holding. In my particular case, I'm holding Bitcoin, small quantities of Ethereum, and USDT. So on this tab, we've got the notification button, with notification center. It shows us the notification. It comes like confirmation of deposit, latest news and events, and even announcement. You see my UID, and there my name is written. And you'll be wondering, how can I create my name also on the app? So you go to the settings tab. There you can see username. You can change it whenever you feel like changing it, but I'll stick to my name. Then you can create your wallet addresses here. I'll quickly remove so that you don't get details of my addresses. And for security reasons, you can change your login password. You can add your mobile number. So for security, you can change in your login password, mobile. You can add your mobile number, your email address, and it is always good to use Google authentication, a two-factor. You can even set password, a lock pattern password for the application. But I would prefer and recommend Bybit to use a fingerprint. For those mobile phones which have got fingerprint sensor, it is ideal to unlock with a fingerprint than a pattern. Maybe there is need for an upgrade to it. So you're done with security. Then you can switch line. When they're saying switch line, I think this is relating to the servers you'll be connecting directly. I've had an experience when I upgraded this app to this new version, and it wasn't receiving the feed so timelessly that I ended up missing some opportunities to trade. So you can, whenever you face such similar challenge, you can come to this function tab and switch the lines 1 to 4, or you can use auto line optimization, which will then auto select the best suitable line for you. Line 1 is working for me for now, thanks to customer services on Telegram group which assisted me. Then there are general settings like language. You can, if you're Russian, you can change it to Russian, and other languages I can't read. Display currency depending with the currency you use and you're familiar. Australian dollars, blah 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 blah, euros, so many currencies, plenty of them, but I'm using US dollar. Then you can select any other functions on the tab. That's why on this particular tab, that's where you can also see the logout button or the logout function. Now we're going back to the main function on the application. That's on the center. So when you click the center, it changes color from gray to yellow or orange. Maybe I'm colorblind, I wouldn't know. So from this end, you can then actually see that on the top left corner, you can see we're trading a BTC USD. And if you want to enter the market, like now, you can then select market. You want to short, like it's already highlighted, you select short. If you want to long, you select long. And if you want to enter the market, like now, you can select market. But you can set your limit orders or your conditional orders. If you are setting your long limit order, you can select on the screen and it will actually quickly put the price, or you can just type in your price here, and then you can type in the quantity, or you can select as a percentage of your existing balance, like this, moving 50, 25, 70, 10% of whatever quantity, or you can just click and type in the quantity you want. Then in terms of leverage, you can select on cross margin here. I'm using cross margin because I like cross margin. You can select isolated margin, 10% up to 100%, 100x, sorry, up to 100x for BTC pair, and for Ethereum, I think it will go maximum of 50%. Then one best thing that you can find on this mobile application again is the calculator. You can calculate the expected profit and loss. You can calculate your target price. You can calculate your liquidation price, either with isolated leverage or cross. You can calculate your profit, expected profit and loss, expected target price, depending on the return on equity that you would want, the liquidation price. I think we'll need a special video for in-depth on how to then do the calculations. But this is a good thing. You can then pre-calculate and see how best with your required, what price or what target price is best suit your risk reward ratios. Then when you're placing orders, you can either, usually when you're placing a limit order, it is ideal to put post only so that it gets triggered as a limit order and you get a rebate of 2.5% of the order fees. Then you can select reduce only if you've got an existing position. Whenever you've got your position, it will appear here. Let me just open a market order. Let me just quickly open a single market order for, then short. I want to short. Then you can select your take profit or stop loss, 50, 75%, 25%. It will actually show you your expected your order price and everything, and then you confirm everything. Your order will then appear just below where there is this open mailbox item, no, and it's written no available data. It will appear here. If you place a limit order, it will appear here when it's still active, and when it's activated, it appears on the position. Then